Hi guys, we are here kicking it in the place where the regulators rolled, Warren G, Chase That Dough, the hometown of Sublime, and Snoopy D of Double G. That's right, we're in the city of Long Beach, California, bringing it to you 360 style from Shoreline Comics in Long Beach. We're here with Jarell Hall, actor, producer, stuntman, and CEO of Executive Geek Productions.
I don't sleep much. Yes, I don't.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and where you call home?
Yes, I am from the San Francisco Bay Area, actually Oakland, California. Yes, repping the O. My background is kind of long and varied. My family background is in military and entertainment and also business, so I guess I got all three. Mm-hmm. You know, growing up with the family that traveled and toured with people like with the likes of Carlos Santana and the Pointer Sisters and things like that, I started playing drums and dancing and singing when I was very young, about I think 5 years old. And I got into theater at 7, and because I didn't sleep much, my mom said, well, we're going to have you do things so that you can fill up your time in the day. So I got into martial arts and dance and music and traveling and all kinds of things, and it kind of put me on my path to do what I do now.
That's awesome. What does a week of work look like for you, or a month of work?
You know, it varies from month to month. The crazy thing about owning your own production company and also working for yourself while at the same time being an artist is that your schedule is always flexing and it's always changing. A typical work week would be a lot of phone meetings, whether it be to clients overseas or clients that are here stateside. After 3-4 hours of phone calls, it's checking content things online, whether it be content that we've already created or content that we are looking to create. Lots of training. You know, the first thing I do is while I'm on the phone, they usually hear me huffing and puffing because I'm doing like push-ups and squats and stretching and things like that. I'm a weird guy when I'm working on the phone. And then after that, if I don't have a project that I'm doing that day, it's usually to the gym or to the dojo to actually train. Mm-hmm. And after that, it's usually more meetings and setting up for some type of filming or whatever we have coming down the line. Mm-hmm. And that can go on probably 1 or 2 days throughout the week, and then we're getting to whatever conference that we may need to go to or whatever set I may need to be at, or if I'm in someone else's project, you know, obviously being on that set. So it changes literally from week to week.
What kind of martial arts do you know?
Oh, there's quite a few. When I was about 7 years old, I started with Charlie Foot and Wing Chun, which is somewhat forbidden because they're northern and southern styles of Chinese martial arts. Mm-hmm. But then I got into other styles, Aikido and Bujinkan and Jitsu, Karate, Hapkido. What else? I've done a lot of Filipino martial arts, being Filipino, of course. Silat, Eskrima, you know, Kali, different things like that. And I've dabbled in Taekwondo, of course, classic things like boxing. My mom was actually a Golden Gloves boxer.
No way.
Growing up. She was the first person to knock me out. It's really funny.
That is hilarious.
You can record that. So I've dabbled in a number of different martial arts over the last, I would say, 25 years. And it took me about 25 years to get to a point to where I can feel that I am proficient enough. Mm-hmm. You know, because I always see myself as a student, so I'm constantly learning and practicing and training with various different masters and various different teachers, and it helps inform my work because a lot of times I can get called in if they need a certain type of martial art. I can pretty much do that, you know, and then the last, I would say 4 years, I've added things like parkour and acrobatics, you know, to that, so I can have more of the acrobatic side to it, because that's big in the industry now. So, yeah, it's quite a lot. I spend a lot of time training in the dojo a lot. So, yeah.
I can't even, believe that you can remember all this stuff.
Well, like I said, I don't sleep a lot, so that's one of the benefits of only needing 4 hours of sleep a day. You can do a lot.
And did you always want to do this when you were younger, or is this basically just you kind of fell into it?
For the most part, yes. There were times where I wanted to be a paleontologist. There were times I wanted to be a gynecologist. Actually, that was weird. Yes, very weird. There was also a time I wanted to get into construction and architecture and things like that, but everything always led back to my art. You know, my art informed a lot of what I did because I'm a geek by nature. My grandmother is actually the reason why I'm a geek. She speaks Klingon fluently and Elvish fluently. Yes, yeah, she is. She's the ultimate geek. She's actually the executive.
That's hilarious.
So growing up watching things like Star Trek and Starship Troopers and Star Wars and different things like that, Babylon 5. Got into Japanese anime at 5 years old. Cool. I was sucked into it, and no matter what I did, it came back to my art and my passion. So pretty much, and by the time I was 18, I made the decision that I did not want to work for anyone else but myself.
Good for you.
So I started my production company, and it's been a crazy road, but I'm here.
Yeah. What's one of the coolest roles that you've played?
In terms of acting or stunts or motion capture or what?
Let's say one of each.
One of each. Acting is weird because I can't talk about that just yet.
Okay.
Stunts, it would have to be for a project called Millennium Underground.
Okay.
I got to do a number of different stunts in that project, and I actually got to shoot guns out of a car window while I was driving 30 miles an hour.
Wow,
so
that's
that
cool.
was really, really cool. I had a lot of fun
really
with
hard.
that. Well, it's funny. It wasn't hard in terms of getting it done, but what ended up happening is that they didn't have the proper padding for the car. So at the end of the day, when it came, I had a giant bruise on my back from leaning against the car that far, so that was kind of funny. It's kind of like earning my right. And in terms of motion capture, now that I can talk about it, it's doing motion capture for Crackdown 3.
Okay.
You know, because it was really awesome. I got the role, and I went over to the motion capture house to do mocap, and I walk in, and Terry Crews is standing there.
Whoa.
So it's like, oh, this is going to be a fun day. You know, so that was amazing because being able to run and scream and jump and shoot and flip and turn and watch him work kind of in that setting was really, really cool. At SIGGRAPH, I was working with a company called Noidum. A good buddy of mine, he is the West Coast operations manager for the Noidum company for their Perception Neuron motion capture suit. So what I did was I've worked with him on numerous motion capture projects, probably I think more than 12 now, and I work on both sides. I work on both the tech side and also the performance side. So he said, well, Jarell, we need someone that can perform all day, but also can be able to talk about the technology and who has a stamina. You know, because he knows that I can pretty much just go all day. So what I did at SIGGRAPH this year was really funny. What they did is they introduced a new part of technology with head cams along with the Perception Neuron suit. So I pretty much dressed up in, you know, the motion capture suit and the head cam, and I played various characters all day. I mainly played a character that got pretty popular called the Red Panda of Death. You know, so I spent about 8 hours bringing people to, you know, the booth by challenging them to duels, you know, or having them pose with me for fights. And it was a lot of fun because I got to really do the two things that I love, which is perform and mess with people, which I love doing. I like messing with people. So, you know, that's how you and I met. You know, 'cause I think I called you out.
A little shit.
Yes, I did. Oh, no, talking a lot of shit. That's what I did. You know, I think you were walking by and I was like, you there, you know, so I'm that guy. So it was a lot of fun, and I was able to meet you, so that was great.
It was really cool. And you guys' stand was one of the most fun ones.
You know, we kept hearing that, which was awesome because we were a small little corner booth, and, you know, some of the other companies had really big, extravagant booths, but we had a number of people come over and say, you guys are so entertaining. I came back to see you guys, and I was like, I guess we did something right. So I really enjoyed that, and that made us feel good because being able to show off the new technology, but at the same time entertaining people is something that I like because I love edutainment. That's kind of a word that I use for a long time. It's a strange word. You can use it. But I love that aspect and the fact that people came back and said, I came back just to see you do your Red Panda thing. Cool, I'm down with that. I can take that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So can you tell us anything that you're working on currently, or is that also top secret? You might have to Red Panda.
One of the problems with motion capture, or I won't say problems, it's just one of the aspects of the business is we can't talk a lot about the projects that we're on.
Until they're out, right?
And either until they're out or until they've been announced. The ones I can talk about are Robo Recall, Remember, Crackdown 3. There are about 4 big AAA titles coming out that I really want to be able to tell you, but I can't. I can tell you that they're going to be on PS4, Xbox, PC, and one is going to be on Nintendo.
All right.
One that I just recently have been working on for about the last month. It's a big television show that's been out for a while.
Okay.
And I was very happy to get that role because it was another one of those things to where walking to the studio, you don't know what you're going to be doing that day. And then when I get the script, I'm like, I get to... yes, you know, so that's very exciting. But they will be coming. I will be able to announce them, so I'm sorry I can't talk about that. But I can say that I am working on various projects like Blackish. I am going to be doing stunts on shows like Grey's Anatomy and other shows like that, so that's going to be exciting. That I can talk about. Yes.
So last question, is there any advice that you can give for maybe younger generations of people who want to do what you're doing?
Yes, I speak to a lot of the younger generation. You guys should listen. I guess you can say they look at me as an old guy, although I'm only 31 and I'm still a baby.
Oh no, that means I'm an old bird too.
Yeah, I don't know why I look as old. My 30s are not old.
30s are the new 20s.
Exactly. You know, but the biggest advice I would give is to figure out what you want to do and be stubborn. You know, I tell everyone, be extremely stubborn in your pursuit because, especially if you're into the entertainment industry, you have to have not only a go-getter attitude, but I'm not going to quit attitude.
Yeah.
Because there will be things in this industry that try and stop you. There will be people that try and stop you. You spend a lot of time broke. You spend a lot of time, you know, traveling and spending money you don't have. You know, working a lot of jobs you don't want to work to get to where you want to be. And I just recently got to the point to where I can now call this my full-time job. You know, but I spent the better part of 20 years grinding, being fired from almost every job I had, you know, and really working my butt off to get here. So the best piece of advice is figure it out and be stubborn, you know, and also never be the smartest person in your crew. You know, one of my keys to success is that I surround myself with people who are smarter than me, you know, and who know things that I don't know. Everyone thinks that I know so much, but I said that's not because I always study, which is that's one thing that I do, but I surround myself with people who know way more than I do so I can always learn from them. So be stubborn, figure out what you want to do, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, and get used to being very uncomfortable. Because until you can get to the place where you are comfortable, you're not going to like a lot of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and coming here and telling us all about you and your life.
Yes.
We will keep in contact and follow him, Jarell Hall, and we'll be keeping up with him in the future.
Yes. See you later.